right, y'all, let's go ahead and get right into Love in Hip Hop New York, you guys. It was not a lot. Okay, so Juju and Yandy sit down and have a conversation in which Juju lets Yandy know what happened at Jonathan's party before she showed up and got into it with Kimbella, which was basically that she and Anais got into it because she came over there and butted into the conversation that Jonathan and Juju were having. Even though it did feel like they was getting rowdy with one another, neither of them believed that they were getting rowdy. They just thought they were having a conversation, and Kimbella and Anais was sticking their nose in some shit that they need to be sticking their nose into, okay? And Jonathan was already feeling some type of way about the fact that Juju showed up to the party with Kimbella after he knew he just told Kimbella that he wasn't fucking with Juju because she was a snake in the grass, because she was sneaky. And he also said that Kimbella agreed with said sneakiness, and Juju does not like the word secretive because it means she was sneaky, and how the hell I'm gonna be secretive and sneaky about my own shit, okay? Now this is my thing. Juju, you are secretive. You do feed people information as you see fit, but that is your prerogative, okay? You can do what you want to do. Nobody's mad at you about that. I just feel like when it comes to this situation with Jonathan, you were in some type of way keeping him out of the process, which made him feel some type of way. And the fact that we're not talking about that, we're talking about the fact that you don't like the word secretive makes me feel like as long as you can turn it around and make it seem like you've done nothing wrong, then you can maintain this veneer, okay, of Juju always being perfect. And I just kind of feel like that's not realistic. That's not true. And come on, Juju, like, come on. Like, you obviously went about this in a way that made him feel uncomfortable. Why not deal with that subject? Why the fuck are we having a hissy fit about the fact that you're secretive? And Yandy, who feels as if Juju is secretive, tells her she keeps things from them. For example, she didn't tell anybody until months after she and Cam broke up. And she feels like that's a terrible example because that's my personal business. How are you gonna get mad that I didn't tell you my personal business until I was ready to tell you my personal business? And I understand where Juju is coming from, but I also understand where Yandy is coming from. Because Yandy is a nosy ass friend who wants to know all your business. If you're not telling her all your business, then she's upset about it. Okay? Now, y'all, if it was me, I would feel like Juju. I tell people shit in my own time. I don't have to tell you everything in my life. I don't even have friendships when we feel like that. I don't have a friend that feels like we deserve, you know, all of the fucking information about your whole life. Like, nobody feels like that. So I think that Yandy and Jonathan are cheeky as shit, and I think Jonathan is using something about Juju's personality that he may not necessarily like because he feels like he's probably always giving her information, but she's never talking about her life. But instead of just saying that from the jump, he's using this whole radio situation to kind of bring that to the forefront. And I just kind of feel like you mixing two issues that, you know, don't really have nothing to do with the other. Like, she can be secretive about her business. She don't trust y'all. Y'all are all on reality television, and it's, she, you know what I mean? Like, I trust y'all, we cool, we friends and shit like that. But it's about this check at the end of the day. So I understand where Juju is coming from. And Yandy just works on my nerves sometimes. Okay? So Rich and Jacquay. So Rich and Jacquay meet up with one another because he wants Rich to come and support him and Nia Lee and the debut of her new song. And y'all know Rich and Nia Lee have a history. She was on the show a few seasons back, and she had some real negative things to say about Richie. Mainly is that he's sloppy and don't know how to keep his dick in his pants, and he's always having sexual relationships with his artists, and he's a bum. Okay, when was the last time you had somebody that actually was doing something with their career? And I mean, I feel like I hate when people do that because I also feel like you need to respect what people have, the work they've put in. And at some point, if I don't want to do this shit no more and I want to be on reality TV, you don't get to tell me that all the things I've done in the past with Bad Boy mean absolutely nothing because you're too young to know about it, okay? So in that respect, I understand. And I also feel like Nia Lee has not been very successful, so maybe you shouldn't say shit like that to people because you don't know who they know or who they have lifelong friendships with who can keep your ass out this business, okay? So Nia Lee and her big ass needed to chill out from the beginning, okay? But now she back with a new weave, and Jacquay is helping her. And he said she changed, and I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. Nia Lee was real aggressive when I saw her this episode. We'll get into it in a moment. Jacquay says that she's different, which is like, you know, okay, that's all Rich really needs to hear, and he gonna come through so he can support Jacquay. But he also wants Jacquay to work with his new artist, and Jacquay is like, you fucking a Rich? You know, in so many words. And he's like, nah, man, I ain't fucking her. When we find out who it is, we realize why he ain't fucking her, because otherwise, he'd be fucking her, okay? So, Jonathan wants an apology from Kim and Anais. So, he invites them and Sin to a rooftop lunch so he can try to invoke this apology out of them. And neither one of them feel like they owe him one. Like, to tell you the truth, Sin is just there for shits and giggles and to be a person in between the bullshit. Somebody that's not on anybody's side. You know, we always need a neutral party to keep things level, right? So Anais shows up there with her ass out, and I'm just like, bitch, why you got on black today, but you couldn't wear black to the party? You could have had your ass out as long as you wore black. Nobody was gonna say nothing about it, Anais. But you know, Anais should come in and yeah, what you guys doing? You know, just sexual vibes, pussy juice all down to her knee for no reason at all, y'all. So then Kim Bella gets there, and Jonathan just gets right to the situation, right to the meat of the problem. And that is, he felt like they came in and they totally ruined his birthday party. And it was all because Anais jumped into this situation with he and Juju, and she was like, I was just trying to defend you. And, you know, he was like, I didn't need you to defend me against Juju. Me and Juju were just having a conversation. But see, me and this bitch right here, we was having a problem. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, really? Really? You and Juju were not having a calm conversation. Y'all was getting loud. It was becoming a spectacle. Anais came over and threw her little slick, classy shade at Juju, because Juju been through the classy shade at her at the reunion last year. We all remember that shit. And then that turned into something, and Anais is fuck you and no fuck you and no bitch you watch it, no bitch you watch it. And then she walked off, but then the shit continued because then you had to argue with Kim Bella. And see, Jonathan, I agree with Anais. I believe a lot of the problem is you, baby. I believe a lot of the problem is you. I'm sorry, okay? And the fact that you got two people here arguing with you about some dumb shit, you know, ending friendships. Now I feel like he and Anais are gonna kiss and make up soon enough. Like they do this every fucking week. Fuck you, no fuck you. You're out of my life. No, you're not fucking out of my life. We done worse shit. I love you. You're my best friend. You know it. I love you, Poppy. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like they do this. They do this every week, so I'm not worrying about them. Now Kim Bella, on the other hand, I'm actually in agreement with Kim Bella. Jonathan, you was trying to throw Kim Bella under the bus and trying to make it seem like she was being shadier to Juju than she actually was, which kind of made Juju feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he put Kim Bella in a fucked up position, and Kim Bella is going through a lot right now with Jewels and all of this type of shit with him going to jail. She's worried about that. She said she don't have time for this. She don't have the energy to have people in her life that's stressing her out more than she's already stressed out, okay? So she said she gonna go ahead and go too. So Anais and Kim leave, and that was a bust. You ain't get no apology, and now it's even more fucked up than it was before we started this scene. So y'all, Remy is doing a clothing line, and she invites Juju down to see some of the clothes because she got some cute little sparkly shit for her, and it's cute. And I'm just like, yeah, Remy, clothing line, that's what you always wanted? Okay. Because, you know, I just be feeling like, really? When have you been like a clothes type of person? You know what I'm saying? Like, since when? Like, since Love and Hip Hop? When? I don't know. But, hey, whatever you want to do to make sure you get your bag and you securing it. Because, you know, this music money ain't always how it's supposed to be. It ain't always on the up and up. All right? And she doesn't do as well as we thought she would do when she came out. But at the end of the day, I feel like real rappers, these like real hardcore, good battle rappers, they don't do well in mainstream, you know, society and mainstream music. They don't do good that, you know, in mainstream like that. So I don't know why I was expecting her to do so well as far as the music is concerned. But she said she got an album coming out. She pregnant. She got a lot going on. And I think that at the end of the day, Remy's life is better than anybody or she could have ever dreamed or expected. So more power to you, bitch. You look good, okay? She looks fan-fucking-tastic right now. Juju comes in and tells her about how she doesn't like the word secretive that Yandy used and how you're gonna use that as an example. And the more she thought about it, the more she remembered how Yandy gonna say she's secretive when Yandy didn't tell anybody that she didn't sign them marriage papers and that her and her man wasn't really together. And Remy is like, listen, okay, like let me just play mediator with this situation, okay? We'll work it out because I think she really loves you. You know that, Juju. So we'll all just meet up. Like, okay, Remy, play the mediator, boo-boo. So then Rich and Jacquay meet up with Sydney Star, y'all. And I don't know what fucking diner allowed them to come in and do all of this, but the little white guy who was sitting right behind Sydney Star had me dying laughing. The fact that Jacquay doesn't know who Sydney Star is very surprising to me. Like, I barely know who she is, but I know who she is. I know what she's done. You know, like the Cat Stacks of the world. She's the transgendered version of Cat Stacks, so to speak, okay? Either way, she's more likable than Cat Stacks. I'll tell you that much. And, you know, actually more attractive. So, you know, we're doing a whole bunch of, you know, upgrades off of the Cat Stacks model, okay? Either way, this is Rich's new artist that he wants Jacquay to spit a rap for. And are y'all ready for the rap? Let's do it. Yeah. I'm Sydney, S-T-A-R, Star. I'm that raw ass bitch, the chick with the dick, but motherfucker still trying to holler at this. Ay. The niggas call me Venus because I got a nice penis. Bitch, what? That's in your rap? Why is that in your rap? How are we ever supposed to, like, how are we ever, like, do you still have, I didn't know you still had your dick, Sydney. I thought you had gotten rid of your dick, Sydney. Oh, you still have your dick, okay. Well, Sydney wants all the fellas out there to know that her dick is nice, and if you want it, come holler at her. All right? Y'all happy I got the pronouns right? Okay. Now, let me tell y'all this. After she fucked up on that first part, that last part was kind of good. But everybody in the restaurant was so embarrassed and didn't know what the fuck was going on. And Sydney, I would like to say that you should have been on season 3 of Love and Hip Hop New York. At this point, I think you too old for this shit, bitch. I think you need to go ahead and find you a nice married man to take care of you or whatever the shit you gonna do. But I feel like this music situation is not the thing at all. And the way Jacquay was like, I keep hearing this penis word. I keep hearing dick. What is going on with the dick? He didn't know. So when she said she was transgender, oh, okay, I understand. You threw me for a loop, but I'm gonna tell you, you really need to work on your confidence level. You really need to work on, you know, on how you throw your lines out there. I was just like, the fact that he actually came back with a real critique had me on the fucking floor. Like, oh, you got a dick. Oh, okay. Well, look, go back to the studio. Work that out. You know, holla at me. And then we get into the conversation of, you know, what's offensive and what's not offensive. Trans with an S on the end is not offensive, but tranny with an NY on the end is offensive. And I was like, why is that, you guys? And then I thought about it, and I was like, you know, we all think about things offensive based off of how racist white men say them to us. So if, you know, what you gonna train? Yeah, it sounds terrible. Just like when you say blackie. Like, you can be like the blacks, and we just be like, yeah, we the blacks, we black people, whatever. However you want, fucking we black, we all right. But calling us black E makes us want to punch you in the fucking face, you know? So I understand that after I thought about it, I was like, you know, because I'm thinking about it in the form of the actual letters. Like, you're just changing the letters, but we're still referring to the same thing. But I understand. I understand. Trans, not tranny, we got you. Okay. So y'all, then we get to see Anais, and we thought she was gonna be a B character, but she got a storyline this season, huh? She's looking very skinny, and I don't know why. And then a light makeup and a blonde hair. She looks like she's trying to turn into a white woman, and I wish she would stop. And we see her kids finally, her 2 little boys. All right, she has her oldest who has autism, and her youngest one who is like his mom, just running around and, you know, wrecking shop and such. And Anais is having a hard time with the fact that she hasn't reached what she wants to be in her her career. She's on Love and Hip Hop, but her music career still hasn't jumped off. And she was like, I don't know, this is so frustrating to me. Like, y'all, I can't even do Anais right now. Hold up, let me try. Hold up. I don't understand. I don't understand. I've been at this for years. I've been in this business for years, and you know, I work as hard as anybody else, and it still hasn't happened for me. You know what I'm saying? Look, I don't even want to make fun of her because I totally understand what that feels like. I so get it. And Anais is very talented, and the only thing I can say is that she needs to just create her own shit. Like, stop waiting for somebody to come to you and give you a record deal. Get somebody to get you some tracks. Get Ruben to pay for the fucking tracks like you do everything else. Get him to get you an engineer and a producer. Get some studio time. You don't even have to get a studio time, bitch. Get a quiet room, all right? Paper cup holder, that motherfucker, all right? Get you a Mac computer and figure it the fuck out. But you got enough people that like you on, you know, on this show and everything. So if you put something out, Mona, and then put that shit on the end of the episode and help you out a little bit. But you have to help yourself. You can't just be sitting up here waiting for somebody to come and discover you and help you do everything. It don't work like that no more. If you want to get it, I'm sorry, Anais, you're gonna have to get it out the mud like everybody else, okay? Just telling you. You don't hear a Marla Negra over there talking about how, oh, I haven't gotten where I want to get yet. A Marla Negra is fucking booked and busy. And you know why? It's because she out here pushing her own shit, doing whatever she can, okay? You got to do the same, baby. Can't be sitting at home crying about it. So Sydney meets with her homeboy / boo, whatever you want to call it. And they had this conversation about how she really thinks that Rich Dollars is going to come and save her career. And homeboy is like, whose career has he ever saved? Y'all, look, we can do this all day. It is Olivia's fault that her career was trash. He just wanted to fuck Erica Mena, and he's basically not really been having any artists ever since then, okay? I don't know who else he's claiming to have worked with, but I think Rich really at this point is just a middleman. I meet the bitches at the strip club and I introduce them to people who might be able to help them based off of if they have talent or not, okay? That's what it really seemed like at the moment, y'all. But I think Sydney Starr is disillusioned and wasting our fucking time right now. Because I don't think you really have any talent. Just because you can, you know, throw something or spit something right quick don't mean you really a rapper. If you was really a rapper, why weren't you putting out videos and shit instead of talking about who you fucked? Like, I don't have time for you bitches with this shit. So, y'all, Jewels is in the studio being a real fucking rapper to the point where I'm not even going to try to learn that shit. I'm just going to tell y'all to go listen to it, okay? Kim comes into the studio and they find out that the amount of time they thought he was going to get has now been doubled. And he still doesn't know whether he wants to take this plea deal or not. And Kim is like, so what are you going to do? Like, you have to do something. She says you know, he doesn't own anything. That's what she said. That he doesn't own the fact that his drug use is what caused him to get into this situation. And I just kind of feel like I think he has an understanding of that. I think he understands it. I think that, like a lot of men, they don't like to take responsibility all the way. I know I had a drug problem, but you know, wasn't nothing really wrong with my life before this happened. You did something to get yourself into this place. Take fucking responsibility for it. Because like Kim said, if he don't learn to take responsibility for the mistakes he's made, it'll never get any better and they'll find themselves in a worse situation soon after. So Yandy meets with Juju and Remy, and Juju doesn't like the word secretive, y'all. I already told y'all that. She tells Yandy that. She brings up the fact that Yandy didn't say anything about her signing the marriage papers. Yandy says that it was a different situation. They was waiting on some jail shit, so that's why they was trying to wait. Because if he gonna go to jail, what's the point in your baby mom's taking money out of my fucking check while you in jail not bringing no money in? So I'm gonna go ahead and not sign these papers because he about to go to jail. When he get out, I'll sign those papers. But here's the thing, Yandy. It's not even secretive. You was flat out lying. Y'all are not fucking married. It doesn't matter that you had a ceremony. If y'all didn't sign them papers and go through the legalities of the shit, the way you fronted and acted like you did, then you're not married and you a fucking liar. It ain't even secretive. You just fucking lying. And I do feel like it's a different situation, but that doesn't negate the fact that you don't get to pick and choose your information and expect Juju to tell you everything that's going on in her life. Remy says that they both coming from the same place and she wants them to just let this shit go because it's not even that big of a deal. And I feel like it's not that big of a deal either. And then Yandy says, yeah, I just need to come to, you know, terms with the fact that you don't feel like you can trust me. And Remy is like, girl, look, it's time for me to eat. Let's go. So they just giggle and I guess they gonna let it go. But I feel like we're gonna be circling back around to this sooner or later. So y'all, Nia Lee is performing with Jacquay. And I don't know what was going on with the costume-ish, but I don't understand. You know, I mean, I guess, girl. I feel like so many girls be trying to be like Aaliyah and wear like the loose jeans all low and then have something sexy at the top like a bustiquela. But she had some shit wrapped around her body and her body looks great and everything, but it was just something about it that I just didn't like and I can't exactly put my finger on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. So Rich comes through. He sees Nia Lee hasn't had a hit yet. Okay, so all that shit she was talking about him, he's still Richie D, bitch. Who are you? Nobody knows. Nia comes over telling Rich how he was a hoe and how, you know, she had to do her due diligence and all of this type of shit. And he's like, no, what you needed to do was be humble, okay? You don't come up to somebody that's been in the game for 20 years talking shit to them. You know what I'm saying? You need to be humble. And that's when Sydney Star comes up, hey, y'all, what's going on, y'all? Hey, and all of this. And Rich is like, see, you need to be like her. You need to be humble like that. And Nia Lee is like, man, who the fuck is this? Kind of like with a who's this clown tone to her voice. And Sydney caught that shit and was like, oh, bitch, you should know I've been famous before you. And I'm like, yeah, she kind of was. She kind of been out here since like 07, 08, something like that. Okay, you know, definitely like in them early 2000, you know, early, late 2010s, you know, around that time. Anyway, Nia Lee did not like that, and Sydney kind of stepped up to her, and Nia was like, you better get the fuck out of my face before this shit go all the way left. I promise you don't want this stress trouble. And I don't know if Nia know who Sydney is or not. I feel like she does. That's why she had that smile on her face. But I don't know how this fight would have went, to tell you the truth. Because you feel like because, you know, Sydney is biologically still a man and she has her dick, then maybe, you know, she might punch the fuck out somebody. But they was around the same size, and Nia Lee is very tall and strong looking around the legs. So I don't know who I would put my money on, but I'm leaning towards Nia, to tell you the truth. Either way, this flips out into a whole shit, and Sydney was trying to talk shit, but then not really, and Rich is like, yo, chill. You know, after she made the comment about, you know, I was more famous to you, and then they started going back and forth and all of this shit. So they, you know, push Sydney Star over to the bar, and Jacquay comes over and they tell her, girl, you are tripping. You tripping. This is her set. This is her shit, and you come in with the rah-rah stuff, bruh. Like, if this happens again, we won't be working together. And I'm like, Jacquay is really acting like, you know, he diddy. So I'm like, nigga, you don't calm the fuck down with your entitlement in your voice. I can't deal with him, y'all. So, y'all, back to Kimbella and Jewels. They're on their way to the courthouse so they can figure out what he's going to do with this plea deal. And she is once again pushing her emotions aside for his and being strong for him. I just kind of feel like this scenario is Kimbella's life story. Put myself in a situation, stay with a nigga that's been on drugs. We wasn't even really together, but then here I am trying to stand by him and be this ride or die chick to the detriment of my own emotional health and all of this shit. Like, I just don't have time for this type of sad story, because it makes me sad because I know like the realities of the situation, but it also makes me look at both of them like, Kimbella, it's always you telling him he need to take responsibility, but bitch, so do you. You decided to be with this man knowing how he treats you, and now 10 years later it's like, oh, look how bad he treated me. Bitch, you the one that stuck around for all these years. Like, what, you want a fucking cookie? Like, I don't understand. They go in court, he takes the plea deal, they come back out. They still got to wait to find out how the judge is going to rule, how he's going to, you know, divvy the time up, whatever. So even though they thought all of their worries would be over, they're not. And Kimbella is trying to get him to admit to the fact that, you know, his life didn't just kind of go down the shitter out of nowhere. you have a drug problem. And if you don't accept the fact that your drug problem got us here and got you here, I don't know how we gonna deal with this. You might as well break up with me now. If you just gonna look at it like, you know, you have no responsibility and I'm just the one that was pushing you away. Cause that's what he was saying. He was basically saying, girl, like, what are you talking about? All these years you was talking about I was on drugs. We wasn't even really together. You getting on social media telling people we not together, living in the same house. You upstairs, I'm downstairs. And she's like, can I ask you several times to come upstairs and be with me? Several times. But you know what you wanted to do, Jewels. Don't blame that shit on her. Don't blame y'all separation on her. She probably got tired of trying to fuck somebody that's on lean, which is excruciatingly tiring, okay? So get the fuck out of here with that shit, Jewels. I really feel like even though she doesn't take responsibility for being a woman that has been here for all of this bullshit all of this time, at the end of the day, your drug use is the reason why you are in this situation. And you need to take responsibility for that, because nobody forced you to get on lean and nobody forced you to start taking those pills unnecessarily. I don't even want to hear that shit. They make you stop taking them pills before you get an addiction. So you took them shits, knew what it was about, liked it, did the most, found somewhere to get them on the street. Like, we know what you did, nigga. Don't sit up there and act like, oh, you know, I got put on this medication and then it just drove me to being a drug addict. Like, nigga, nah. You was already doing it, okay? Anyway, y'all, their story is some sad sack shit, to say the least. I hope they brighten this shit up with some regular drama. The Sydney Star shit and all of that is cute, but Yandy and Juju gonna get the fuck out of my face with they, you know, play made for TV arguing. Girl, bye. See y'all in the next